Another all new edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. We are coming off the heels of an amazing Royal Rumble event where we have two Royal Rumble winners from Monday Night Raw as Drew McIntyre and Charlotte Flair punched their ticket to the road to WrestleMania with their respective championship matches. Man, you won't believe what a Royal Rumble it was. And also on the Smackdown report, someone has to eat dog food. And you won't believe who's going to eat dog food. Woo! In their six-man tag team match between Roman Reigns and the Usos, the Bloodline, against King Corbin and his cohorts of Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. In the AEW ring report, man oh man, Cody Rhodes and MJF, the speculations begin with the lashes. Wow. And stuff like that nature. And La Champion, Chris Jericho, and his group sent a message to Jon Moxley in more ways than one. Oh, and on the NXT ring report, the Dusty Rhodes Classic, man, the Bro and the you won't believe, and hot topics as famous wrestling twins, the Bella Twins, announced a huge surprise that many people didn't see coming, as all new Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello everyone, welcome to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Thank you all for watching last week's edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, where we predict the outcome for the Royal Rumble. But I must say, I had got majority of the Rumble matches right, but I didn't get the matches that I thought we was going to win the two Rumble matches, but they two were close in the runner-up. I picked Roman Reigns, I picked Shayna Baszler, and they was the runner-ups in their Royal Rumble matches. But hey, here's what it is. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. If you're a fan of the Pro Wrestling Show, or you new to the Pro Wrestling Show, hit that subscribe button. You won't miss a thing with wrestling content we provide for you every weekend, every Sunday here on Connect. All right, let's get to the Monday Night Ring Report. All right, the Monday Night Ring Report kicks off with a bang as Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath, wins the Royal Rumble match in his first time winning it. Drew McIntyre looked as strong in the Royal Rumble. He was number 16 and he went through the gauntlet. But when he came through there, entered the Royal Rumble match, Brock Lesnar was waiting. Brock Lesnar was waiting for Drew McIntyre, but Ricochet helped Drew. Drew eliminated Brock Lesnar over the top rope with that Claymore kick, leaving the WWE champion dazed for a minute and stunned. But when the champion woke up, he realized that he wanted a piece of McIntyre, and McIntyre was wanting a piece of him. Man, it was an amazing Royal Rumble. Drew McIntyre was the last to eliminate Roman Reigns from the match. It was so great. I mean, from top to bottom, that Royal Rumble was the greatest. To be honest with you, it was the greatest Royal Rumble in the last 10 years. Wow, greatest Royal Rumble indeed. And Drew McIntyre punches his ticket to WrestleMania, and Drew did not waste any time. Drew issued that his intentions were at WrestleMania. He's not going for no Universal title against the Fiend. He wants Brock Lesnar, the man he eliminated at the Royal Rumble, and it's going to happen at WrestleMania 36 in Tampa, Florida. Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. This is going to be a WWE Championship match that I've been anticipating for a long time. This is Drew's moment. I believe Drew McIntyre is going to take this title, but we'll get to WrestleMania down the road in WrestleMania Ring Report. But Drew McIntyre has a strong showing that he looks like he is ready to become a main eventer. He done so within different areas. He got fired from WWE. He came back. He looked more rugged, more bolder, had a more look. He was built up more, and Drew McIntyre looking ready to take on the beast at WrestleMania for the WWE title. But McIntyre didn't waste no time. He took on in a 2-on-1 handicap match against Anderson and Gallows of the OC. And McIntyre didn't waste no time. He kind of you know, he just went through the motions and he pinned both Anderson and Gallows with an instant and won the match. I think they're building Drew up to be this mega star on Raw, and Drew is coming towards his own. He's coming on his own as a top main eventer. He's done so with previous promotions like Impact and others. But I think this is Drew McIntyre's moment in time. But Brock Lesnar did not forget what Drew did to him, and Brock Lesnar came from behind and attacked his challenger for the championship and delivered the F5. Brock Lesnar sending a message to Drew that WrestleMania, I'm coming for you for what you did, humiliating me and embarrassed me, and eliminating me over the top rope. Brock Lesnar thought he had this match, this Royal match won, and he did set the record at Royal Rumble, 13 eliminations. So Brock Lesnar setting a record eliminations. I think he's tied with Roman Reigns or Kane, one of the two. But look for that to come down with it. Drew McIntyre ready for that match. Like I said. Also, a returning legend returns for one night only. As he made his appearance at the Royal Rumble. Many of you remember Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP. MVP came back. He's coming. MVP came back. It was like reminiscent of 2006 in WWE when MVP was a part of the Smackdown brand. MVP came back because he lives in Houston. Why not? MVP came out, did his thing, and he went against Rey Mysterio. But MVP showing those shot collar moves, those moments. But he lost to the Masters of 619. So Rey Mysterio pins MVP. MVP stating that this is his last match in WWE. So MVP is going to hang up his boots. But it was a phenomenal showing for MVP, reminiscing the clock. He didn't have all that the props and stuff. But MVP came back doing his elbow drops, and Ray finished MVP off and to the sunset. So, MVP, he can be, MVP probably did mention on Corey Graves' podcast after the bell available on Spotify and stuff that he might want to do be an agent or a role agent, a producer or something like that. I can see MVP doing that. He can provide knowledge and give the folks back, give the young wrestlers something back that what he knows and what he was taught, and he can share that knowledge. Also, Alistair Black was in action. Many people didn't know that Alistair Black was considered to win the Royal Rumble, but I think they hadn't made the right choice with Drew because Drew been there. Alistair Black had his came in, but Alistair Black hit a black mass against a jobber once again. So, you know how that goes. Alistair Black then took the microphone and he addressed Buddy Murphy, and he said that he had the best kept secret eliminate him, and he vows revenge. So I guess Alistair Black and Buddy Murphy is not through yet, not for a long shot and stuff like that. So Alistair Black with that. Also, Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens try to outsmart Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins. Well, the new Raw Tag Team Champions won their championship from the Viking Raiders, but the Viking Raiders got hold of the AOP and attacked them, and then Samoa Joe and Alistair Black, Kevin Rollins and Buddy Murphy was getting, how that go and stuff. So I think the tag team titles were on the line too. But Rollins and Murphy managed to retain their titles against Joe and Murphy. I think I don't know if they're non-title or something like that. I don't know. But hey, you tell me. Also, the United States Championship was on the line as Andrade defended his championship against Humberto Carrillo. Well, Andrade and Humberto Carrillo put on an instant match, back and forth. Match was good. Andrade doing those high spots, Carrillo doing the high spot. But in the end, Andrade retains his U.S. gold, but he paid a severe price as Humberto Carrillo got mad and upset and wanted to do the same that Andrade did to him. Humberto Carrillo came out and attacked Andrade and pulled off the little thing off from the concrete, and Humberto, he delivered the DDT on the concrete to Andrade. leaving Andrade out. So Andrade should be out for a month. Now, we'll talk about later on. Well, we could talk about it now. Andrade is suspended indefinitely with violating his wellness policy. So he spent for 30 days. You see right here, this tweet right here that someone broke, saying that he had some form of anabolic steroids. I'm like, wow, Andrade is suspended. So, well, you got to be surprised too and wondering why didn't WWE put the belt on Herberto, thinking that he's not ready yet and they want to keep on with Andrade so we can measure Royal revenge. So there they go. See on that picture. Also, the new Royal Rumble Women's winner, Charlotte Flair, went against Asuka, the 2018 Royal Rumble Women's winner. Now, Charlotte won the match at Royal Rumble for the women. She outlasted everyone. She even beat Shayna Baszler. She did like a little gymnastics move to eliminate Shayna Baszler, but she did so effectively and efficiently. But she went against Asuka in a WrestleMania rematch. I mean, you know that WrestleMania Classic from 2008 in New Orleans. So she hit the chops, figure eight, and Flair defeated Asuka with I think Kyrie Singh was trying to hit the same elbow for disqualification and hit Flair, but Flair seen off Asuka insane. So Charlotte Flair even got on the mic and said that she's going to WrestleMania, but she never mentioned who she's going to go against. There's been rumors and reports that Charlotte could be facing Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. Many people thought it was going to happen this week, but it's likely to happen. I think it's going to happen at the Portland show where Rhea will get her finish, get done with Bianca Belair, who made an impressive showing at the Royal Rumble as well. She was an Iron Woman as well, entering number 2. But she eliminated, and look for that down the road during Portland TakeOver and stuff. Look at that. I'll say that. Also, 24/7 championship match was online as Mojo Rawley defended his championship. And my ad, he has a new insurance policy. Mojo Rawley brought out Richard Marsh. Many of you may know Richard Marsh. Many of you may not know Richard Marsh. He's from NXT. He's a former football player, just like Mojo. The two kind of feed off each other. And Mojo went against No Way Jose, defeated him in the instant, and that was it. But R-Truth came out there as No Way Jose's Conga crew and tried to pin Mojo and got the win. But R-Truth got intimidated by Mojo's insurance policy rhythm, and Mojo did a devastating move and won his championship back. So Mojo Rawley trying to keep his title intact against R-Truth. So R-Truth playing hot potato with the 24/7 championship. Also, scoring lovers and stuff fight each other against where Lana went against Liv Morgan as Royal Rumble. Lana and Liv Morgan was in the Royal Rumble. Liv eliminated Lana. Lana eliminated Liv. So these scoring lovers had unfinished business. And Liv hit a devastating move from the springboard top rope and pinned Lana and got the 1, 2, 3. So Lana, there they go. Lana, probably we ain't seen Lashley and Rusev in weeks. They said that Lashley and Rusev was in the parking lot fighting each other. So I don't believe that. That was just some tap or something to talk about. Also, Erick Rowan was in action against a jobber. He defeated the jobber, and Erick Rowan was in the Royal Rumble. He got eliminated by Brock Lesnar. So Rowan did massive work with the Iron Claw and got the win and stuff. Also, the Radar superstar Edge returned back home to WWE after it was weeks. It was rumors that Edge was returning back to the WWE. He wanted to do so at the Royal Rumble. He kept denying it for so long that you couldn't help but to, But Edge delivered a heartfelt message that many people thought was inspirational. Edge coming back from after 9 years of retiring. Edge looked in great shape. He looked in great condition. Radar Superstar came back with a vengeance. He was in the top final 4 and was down to the final 3. Edge could have almost won that Royal Rumble. But Randy Orton and Edge had an interaction. They had a quick, team up with Ray RKO. They kind of did the double RKO on Seth Rollins. But Randy Orton put his faith and trust into Edge, and Edge eliminated him. And Randy Orton didn't forget that. Randy Orton came out there and he wanted to reunite Ray RKO again. Edge was sympathetic to everything, and the public was sympathetic. But all of a sudden, Randy Orton heard the voices in his head, and he delivered a RKO on Edge, who looked stunned after receiving the neck surgery and stuff. You would have thought Edge would have had that. Randy Orton attacked Edge, leaving the Ray RKO Superstar unwieldered. And we thought he was going to put Edge's neck into the chair and smash his neck when he worked so hard to build back. But Edge, but he didn't. Randy Orton did something even more devastating, more despicable. Randy Orton had got 2 chairs and hit the concerto and knocked Edge out senseless. So Edge was out his misery after coming back 9 years from the ring. Edge. So you can tell it's going to be Edge versus Orton at Mania, 1-on-1. These former rivals, former friends. Now, you know what I'm saying? They just, Edge just throwing. Randy Orton showed that he turned full-fledged heel after attacking the Raiders are superstar, let's say. So, that ends the Raw Ring Report this week. All right. Let's go over to the SmackDown Ring Report. On the SmackDown Ring Report this week, we're coming off the heels of Royal Rumble once again. Now, on SmackDown, King Corbin and his cohorts, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, called out the bloodline between Roman Reigns and the Usos. Reigns and the Usos were battering at the King's Court. The King's Court didn't like that, and they felt like this had to be the final chapter tonight. So they proposed a dog food match where the losers will have to eat dog food. Ugh, that's a sticky situation. And I guess the King's Court agreed to their stipulation. Also, Braun Strowman finally gets a championship opportunity. He gets the championship opportunity for the Intercontinental Championship against champion Shinsuke Nakamura. The match was just as it was. Braun Strowman had to fight 3 people in order to win the Intercontinental title. Strowman had to beat Nakamura with those series of defensive kicks. But even Cesaro and Sami Zayn was trying to intervene and interject. That didn't work to the advantage. And Strowman blocked them and took them down. Strowman hit the power slam and got the 1-2-3 and finally became the Intercontinental Champion. Braun Strowman wins his first singles championship in WWE. He's been a tag team champion and he's one of the greatest Royal Rumble. Now Braun Strowman can add to his resume Intercontinental Champion. Wow. Braun Strowman has done it. Also, the SmackDown tag team titles, and we're a #1 contendership. Who's going to meet the New Day at the Crown Jewel event next month in February? Well, that was determined where the Revival versus Heavy Machinery versus Lucha House Party versus Miz and Morrison. Now, these 4 teams have something to vie for and grasp. The Miz and Morrison are former tag team champions. The Revival are former tag team champions. Heavy Machinery, no tag team champions. And Lucha House Party, no tag team champions. But we have new challenges as set. It was just, Otis with his moves on Miz and doing those devastating worms and stuff. But at the end, the Miz and John Morrison punched their ticket to Super Showdown, where they will meet the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. So that happen down the road, where Miz and Morrison could be tag team champions once again. Also, the SmackDown tag team champ, no, not SmackDown tag team champions, but on SmackDown, the pre-show Royal Rumble rematch where Shorty G went against Sheamus. Shorty G put in on an effort, but Sheamus came back and brutalized Shorty G and used a backbreaker move to break down Shorty G. Sheamus won his match since returning to the Brew brand in months. So the Celtic Warrior looked to be more vicious than ever before. We'll see that. Who else? Also, women's tag team match as Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross team up against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Oh my God, I've seen this match so many times. One-on-one, singles competition or tag. But at the end, Bliss and Cross beat Fire and Desire. No Otis to intervene because Otis was more busy with trying to, more busy trying to get her thing situated. But Otis scored a date with Mandy Rose for in 2 weeks on Valentine's Day. They will go on a date. Wow, that's kind of weird, but to each his own on that situation. But hey, Otis got, more to the left than coming and stuff. I'll say that. Also, Naomi interrupts Bayley. Naomi returns back in a long time. Naomi tells Bayley off, and Bayley does stop talking. Just hit Naomi with the microphone. Naomi made a comeback and showed Bayley one thing too. So look at these two women likely to get in a feud down the road on SmackDown. Where Naomi could win back her women's championship that she won that same belt. So, hey, you know how they go. So, and then finally, the main event was Roman Reigns and the Usos versus King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler and Robin Roode. This match, it was a physical 6-man tag team match. This match even spawned out last when the Royal Rumble when Reigns and Corbin fought each other in the Falls Count Anywhere match. And you had interference from the Usos, Corbin and Roode. It was a good match, Well, I say this. The King tried to escape. Reigns caught him with a spear, then sprung on a turnbuckle, and then handcuffed him and dumped dog food on him. And, man, I guess with the roll up and stuff like that as well. Reigns rolled. Corbin looked at shock and he didn't want to do it. Reigns and the Usos made sure he was going to pay for his damn what he did to Reigns with the dog food. Well, he didn't. Queen Corbin didn't eat dog food, but King Corbin got a taste of the dog food. King Corbin, Roman Reigns, and the Usos dumped 2 big buckets of dog food on King Corbin. King Corbin was covered with dog food. So the King is not going to be perturbed on that and how he's going to get revenge. I don't even know how he's going to do that. But you know how it goes. And then somebody's going to eat that dog food. It's terrible. But I remember one time I was watching Good Times. And later, who was on there as a neighbor, she was unfortunate. She had to eat dog food to survive. But now they got stuff for, people who are, under low means that could get food and stuff. So, you have to wonder, have to think of that. But, couldn't eat dog food. That's for dogs. Okay. That ends the SmackDown Report. When we return, we're going to have hot topics where a couple of the Bella twins announced a surprising announcement. Plus, is WWE management is in crisis? Wow. Woo. And John Cena looking to star in a Super Bowl commercial. Wow. And then we have the AEW report and the NXT report. We have this and more when the all-new pro wrestling show returns. Stay tuned. back to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you could join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is care. Call a friend, tell a friend. Subscribe. We appreciate you here on the Pro Wrestling Show for watching us. That's what we do here in the Pro Wrestling Show. We entertain for you, the pro wrestling audience, because that's what wrestling matters. And also, don't use the hashtag, join in the conversation. Use the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. All right, let's get to hot topics. On hot topics this week, we talked about earlier that the Bella twins, Nikki and Brie, made a startling announcement this week that they're both pregnant. Can you believe it? Wow, the Bella twins are both pregnant. Well, Our People TV had this exclusive with the Bella twins. Watch this.
Hi, I'm Brie.
And I'm Nicole.
And we're the Bella twins
from
Total Bellas.
And
we're pregnant!
Who would have thought? So I never thought ever that we would even be raising kids within a few years apart together. Let alone when she found out her due date and I found out mine, and I'm like, we're a week and a half apart? I mean, then I was like, this is weird.
Someone told us today, they're like, wow, you guys are only a week and a half apart. It's like you guys are having twins. It's just the twins decide to grow in different wombs. And I was like, whoa.
In 10 years, I, envision that Brie and I's empire is still growing, but it's making amazing changes in this world that we truly want to see. Knowing that we're going to raise these cute little babies and bird to help make those changes continue as we sip our wine on our porches.
Amazing. The Bella twins, both pregnant. I think Brie had her and Daniel Bryan got a child together, Birdie, who's going to be a big sister to the next baby. And now Nikki pregnant. I think Nikki, when you watched the Total Divas, when she was with John Cena, she was kind of losing her, vicariously trying to live vicariously through Brie and losing herself. And she really wanted a family. And now she has the opportunity with her new fiance, Autumn, to start a family in her own. I guess John Cena wasn't in the cards, know how that go. And Brie knew that Nikki didn't want to be conformed to John's ways and ideas. She knew that, Nikki wanted a family, and Nikki has that chance to do so. And congratulations to both women on their pregnancy. I still think to me that they both got pregnant at the same time. They planned their pregnancy. Tell me right now. All right. Speaking of that, WWE CoPresidents George Barrios and Michelle Wilson are no longer with the company. Wow, it was a shocking report this week that Mr. McMahon commented, and I quote, "I would like to thank George and Michelle for their 10 years of service and contributions to the organization." That's what Mr. McMahon said. So a lot of people are saying that Mr. McMahon used his own co-presidents, who Barrios was a chief financial officer before the role, and Michelle Wilson was chief revenue officer, used them as scapegoats to know that the stocks are not going to be looking so great when they had to release those stock numbers soon. Woo, Lord. To me, it's like, if Mr. McMahon and the board of directors take on that responsibility, then you have to wonder too, like, do everything falls upon Mr. McMahon too? Should he take some little responsibility, because he's going to start the XFL, and you know what I'm saying, the XFL's coming up, and he doesn't want to, take no responsibility or leave, because, like they say, you can be hired, you can start your own company, and then when you create board of directors, and they feel like you're not pulling your weight, which I think McMahon is, but he don't want to get fired, because he feel like it's his company, it's his playground, it's his, stuff. He ain't finna, quit, get left out. And if they was with you for 10 years, then what's going on for real in WWE. They just moving and shaking. Now, we can recall when Eric Bischoff was the executive director of Smackdown, and they didn't give Bischoff a shot. Bischoff was just there just to stand around and not do nothing. And then all of a sudden they want to fire him. It's like playing games. And I don't like when folks play games. If you're going to be for real with it, be for real. Don't just, you know what I'm saying? But, Vince better watch himself because he could damn well be gone himself. He'll think that, hey, I can't be replaced. Oh, believe me, they'll replace you just because you the owner. Yeah, you can be the owner, but hey, if you don't get your stuff together, they'll just get it for you. So they said that Wilson, the former co-presidents, had different visions for WWE, and McMahon was not having it. McMahon wanted to get rid of him. And some people saying McMahon felt like AEW was going to, take over and stuff. Which, hey, you know how that go. AEW got renewed and stuff, so hey. All right, speaking of AEW, its president Tony Khan had got cleared with TNT, the network that the AEW is on, by John Moxley getting stabbed in the eye because of previous reports way back when, back like 30 years ago, where NWA, WCW was on TV and Dusty Rhodes, remember, got stabbed in the eye by the Road Warriors with that on spike. Well, the Turn Network executives that then were angry and mad and upset with Dusty. And that's why Dusty had to leave because of that incident. So Tony Khan had to make sure he got everything cleared, and he did. So, yeah. Tony Khan made sure on that end. He also made sure that MJF got cleared as well, with the wearing the t-shirt I Bane Paige's daughter. He had to make sure he got that cleared. So Tony had getting all his stuff together. Also, we talked about who put that fantastic Royal Rumble match together, where the ideals came from Shane McMahon, Jamie Noble, Abyss, Lance Storm, and Paul Heyman helped with that men's Royal Rumble. I give all 5 or 6 of those dudes a round of applause because that was tremendous booking on their part. With Brock Lesnar getting eliminated, Brock Lesnar dominating the whole Royal Rumble until Drew McIntyre came in and Claymore kicked him. And then Drew finally won it and took it home. Now he goes against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So, also, let's see. That's sort of it. That's sort of it for right now. All right, that ends Hot Topics. And then, also, John Cena starring in a Super Bowl commercial. Won't believe. Take a look.
Hi, John. As a professional who wears many hats and enjoys life to the fullest, can you talk a little about the importance of making wellness fun and enjoyable?
The importance of making wellness fun and enjoyable is the same as any pursuit in life. If you don't like it, you won't do it. So you want to set yourself up for success, whether it be short-term or long-term. If you find something that you like to do, you're going to stick with it. So that definitely applies to wellness. And that's what I tell anyone who asks. When they ask, like, oh, what should I do? I answer their question with the question, well, what do you like? Because if you find something you'll like, you'll continue to do it.
So what does it mean to you it's only worth it if you enjoy it?
To me, the term, it's only worth it if you enjoy it, means everything. Because if you don't enjoy it, not only will you not enjoy the doing of the deed, you won't enjoy the success that it yields. You won't enjoy the lessons that you learned from failure. You won't be able to enjoy or appreciate anything about it. Yet if you're invested in it and you have passion towards it, you'll be able to enjoy even the toughest moments, or you'll find some takeaway from those moments.
And for me, of when you enjoy the Michelob Ultra, who Who's with you? What's your favorite time to sip an Ultra?
So I have a few pictures I could paint for you about like when I enjoy an Ultra. This backdrop is certainly one. Ultra, I believe, is the ultimate golf course beer because it's light and refreshing and you're usually out in the sun and the heat and you want to quench your thirst and you want to be able to play 18 holes and not pass out in the 6th hole. And Ultra provides you with a vehicle to do that. Also, with me, because I'm very focused on physical fitness, you kick butt in the gym and you really push yourself to punish yourself. But at the same time, it's a great reward after the end of the day. A lot of the CrossFit boxes that I go to literally will have a cooler and in one half is water and in the lower half is Ultra. And I think a lot of the people focused on group fitness reward themselves with an Ultra at the end of a tough battle, should we say.
And last question, how do you describe your wellness routine? Take us through what a normal day for you is.
My wellness routine is simple. It's just one of consistency. I enjoy lifting weights. I also enjoy flexibility. And I enjoy doing work. I like the feeling of being exhausted, which is why something like Ultra is so rewarding. But it basically involves a little bit of sweat, a whole lot of stretching, and then some throwing heavy objects into the air and trying not to get hurt.
Can we go back to so why do you enjoy a Michelob Ultra?
I enjoy Michelob Ultra because it's light, it's refreshing, it quenches your thirst. For me, someone who's fit and active, I'm usually exhausted or I'm out in the open doing something. So it gives you a wonderful sense of satisfaction and in some cases reward. And it's a very social drink too. You can enjoy it with anyone and people of all walks of life can enjoy it. Some beverages are for certain occasions. I believe Michelob Ultra is for all occasions.
Done.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right. John Cena starring in a Super Bowl commercial for a beer. So catch John Cena out in a Super Bowl commercial real soon for that beer ad. Bilbo. Sorry. All right. That ends Hot Topics. Let's move over to the Wednesday Night Report. AEW versus WWE. The Wednesday Night War. Well, let's get with AEW. All right. AEW started out with Jon Moxley coming out, starting the show, wearing an eye patch. And he talking about he's not going to forget Jericho. He's going to do what he needs to do to Jericho and do what he needs to do. And so now the match been made official. Jericho versus Moxley at Revolution for the AEW title. So Moxley wants his opportunity and he will get that opportunity. Well, Moxley was wanted to fight the Inner Circle. Chris Jericho came out there and tried to bash Moxley and told him, you don't know what you're talking about. Moxley was going to go against the whole entire Inner Circle, and he did. And the Inner Circle had him beat. So, hey, you know how they go. Also, the Young Bucks went against the Butcher, the Blade, so it was a good match. Young Bucks with the Butcher and Blake. MJF paid them to take out the Young Bucks for his revenge. And the Young Bucks was doing their spot helping out Cody. After Cody said he couldn't touch MJF, MJF walked into the super kick, got super kick for his trouble. And MJF wanted revenge, so he's paid the Bunny and the Braid some more money to take out the Bucks and their super kick. Well, the Bucks and the Bunny and the Blade and the Butcher had a good match. It was so decent. It was so good. Good tag team wrestling. But at the end, the Young Bucks delivered the super kick and 1, 2, 3, the Bucks keep that momentum going. After that, you had the Bucks will be in the tag team championship match against Omega and Hangman. Omega and Hangman try to congratulate them. Hangman Page acting like he is a dry alcoholic and always the one. Hangman Page with that. So Hangman Page mentioned to the Bucks like he thought the Bucks was going to be the tag team champions, but he didn't know he was going to beat the Bucks before they did. But it was something like drunk. You know how you think sober minds think alike. That's what Hangman Page was thinking. So how typical Hangman Page with a drink in his hand. Also, Dr. Britt Baker come out there and she talks to her hometown audience. She sneering them down and talking about Riho. about she's not here as she should be, and she wants to be the women's champion. And she talked down to Tony Schiavone like Tony Schiavone works at some little, try to job shame him or something. So Tony Schiavone didn't even do that. It was quite of a heel for her. So I guess they found her character and her personality and stuff. And also Pat was standing. Pat did something like a Joker-ish type thing and talking in riddles and stuff. Also, the main event was the Inner Circle took on three young baby faces. The Inner Circle took on Private Party, and they took on Private Party. It was a good match. Jericho and Darby Allin. 6-man tag team match with Jericho and LAX was going against them. Good match. Jericho winning the bandana. Jericho leading the match, being the ring general. But in the end, Jericho won the match for his team. Jericho looking forward to what he has to do in that week. So look for Chris Jericho to continue his momentum, because Chris Jericho wants vengeance and he's going to try to get it as much as he can. All right. That is the AEW report. On the NXT report, we get to everything where Keith Lee basked in his glory. Keith Lee, one of the phenomenal greats. He even appeared in the Royal Rumble and tried to dominate against Brock Lesnar. He did a phenomenal job. But Punishment, Damian Priest came out there, who used to be Punishment Martinez, and Dominic Dijakovic used to be Dominic Dijakovic. Won the piece, and it was just a stare down between these three big men and stuff. So, Kaylin Carter, many of you might know, got an upset win over Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green thought she was going to win the match. She was being too cocky and arrogant against Kaylin Carter. And Kaylin Carter got a new feud with Chelsea Green, who's going to look to get a win over the lady. So look forward. It's going to go from season of the story. Going to go from here. Also, the Dusty Classic was great. Well, let me see. They call it Dusty Classic. Also, Tegan Knox went against Dakota Kai. These two have been spewing for weeks over for the NXT TakeOver. Man, in Chicago. But she didn't do the job done. So we'll see. It wasn't a blowout match, but it could have been. And the main event was the Bros Awakes against the Grizzly Young Veterans. Heck of a tag team match delivered from Dusty Rhodes Cup. Match was so good. Matt Riddle, he was a standout in the Royal Rumble. Riddle and Pete Dunne make a phenomenal team. They won the match, and they're both stars, and they won the Dusty Cup. So Riddle and Dunne won the match. They're Dusty Cup winners, and we'll see how this relationship goes as a tag team. So they get the opportunity to go against the Undisputed Era for the tag team titles against Fish and Riley and Portland. So, phenomenal match. All right. That is the Wednesday Night War between AEW and NXT. All right. That's in the books. All right, everyone. What a phenomenal show we had for you this week on the Pro Wrestling Show. We talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We did so with that. And thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host, KJ Dick, saying so long, and we'll see you next week for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.